Yo, it's Joe and welcome to another video. Today, we're going to be checking out episode 6 of Critical Role's campaign 2 called The Howling Mines. It's part 2, so we'll see how this bad boy goes. Or I should say it's part 1, so we'll see how this bad boy goes. I don't know why I said part 2. Anyways, it's been a minute, you might need to fill me in on a couple things, but either way, I'm ready to see what this is about. And yeah, I'll give my thoughts at the end. Let's go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Critical Role, where a bunch of us nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons & Dragons.
Yeah, I saw like 5 minutes of this and I had to fix the stream, so literally 5 minutes of this I've already seen, but we'll watch it again.
Three, two, one, and Trav's the only one who jumped in.
Yeah, no, well done, then. So welcome, guys. Before we jump into tonight's episode, we have some announcements to get through. First and foremost, returning once again this week, our fantastic partners and sponsor for the beginning of this campaign, D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond.
Awesome Dungeons & Dragons tool for use for your campaigns, whether it be a DM or player. And Sam, do you have something to say about that?
Hey, our partner this week is D&D Beyond. That's www.dndbeyond.com. They'd like to invite critters to check out and Beyond, the monthly developer update and Q&A session for D&D Beyond. D&D Beyond product director Adam Bradford will share the latest thing the team is working on and answer questions from the community. The next stream will take place tomorrow, the 16th of February at 11 p.m. Nope, 11 a.m. Pacific. Check it out
Which,
at
by the way, I
twitch.tv/D&D
think it might
Beyond
actually
and
be
celebrate
the 16th of February today. That's crazy.
It's another contest. All of you can play. And here's the rules. Using D&D Beyond, you have
This
to
is great.
create a character right now, a level 3 character. Any character, go.
Go.
Hang on, it's refreshing. You should give us warning.
Boom. Boom.
I did it.
Oh, damn it!
No.
Wait, I don't see it. It's there.
Wait,
she did
wait.
it.
I did it.
I did it!
Sphincter. Oh, you know what? No, I don't know how to call it.
I have 138 hit points.
Wow. Wait, at a level 3
Yeah,
character?
look, I'm Callus.
She's
I have
level
25 hit points. Callus, 25 hit points. Already done, right there.
All right, Taliesin. But see how
Dang
easy
it.
it is to create a character with D&D Beyond?
It's pretty easy.
Earth,
It's pretty easy.
elemental.
And
No, but this
I'll
is a
give you
really
a
cool
hint.
character.
Your prize
actually.
is attached to my mug.
Oh no.
I love what Sam does with his mugs, with these little ideas. I can't wait to see where else he goes this episode with this mug. I'm sure there's gonna be something stupid knowing him.
See how easy it is? We all created a character in like 25 seconds.
This random character that I just created is
I'm actually really impressed
really
with this
fucking
random
cool.
character.
Oh, I don't want to have
The name
Sphincter next
is-
to Caleb now.
Hey man, Sphincter's a great name.
That's the name I gave them. That's the spell I got. Delete. Oh, there goes Caleb.
Oh, what is your name? Panalananam.
Panalananan.
Palan.
Panlanan.
There are 4 N's in that name.
I am Panlanan, the wood half-elf blood hunter.
What was yours?
Oh.
Callus.
Callus?
Callus.
And what was yours, Laura?
Of course it's Callus.
A level 15 fire genasi.
Her name was Alight.
A light fire. I see what you did there.
Dude, my abilities are balls, though. Like, I have a 5 dex and a 4 wisdom. That's sad.
So we're
You
using those
suck.
characters in this game.
I mean, hey, you're only level 3, right?
39 cent menu.
I'm awesome.
Are they better than fours?
You're in big
Well,
trouble.
there you go. Thank you very much, Sam. Congratulations, Taliesin.
Thank you for the dollar.
And thank you, D&D Beyond, for being our sponsor. Quick reminder, for those of you who have an Amazon Prime account, you can get a free subscription to the Twitch channel by just going through your actual, or yeah, you do it through Twitch. You link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch name, and you are able to subscribe to one channel for free a month. So if you haven't
Fire.
subscribed and you want to have the VODs available to you before they go up on YouTube, that's the way to do it.
Very important.
For no additional charge. So check it out. Talks Machina.
Look at that. He rolled ones, and one. I'm sorry.
Kids.
Sorry. Sorry, Matthew.
It's okay. We haven't started yet, so technically it's a buffer. So Talks Machina, next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific, will be here on Twitch and Project Alpha, where our host, Brian W. Foster, will discuss what happens and transpires in this episode tonight. So check it out next week on Tuesday. Let's see, the podcast of last week's episode is available for download. So for those of you who missed last episode or want to listen to it on your drive or commute, where you just like the audio to create your imaginationscape, last week's episode is available for download now, wherever finest podcasts are located to be downloaded. Let's see. Any other major announcements from you guys?
A little thing that's totally improvised. A couple of weeks ago, a critter named Courtney, forgive me if I'm getting that wrong, to tweet a picture of her with this scarf that she was making for Caleb, and she said made the hashtag.
Oh, that's cool.
And then people just started talking about it. Like I retweeted because I thought it was awesome, and they came up with the idea to make scarves for Caleb, but not for me. To give to shelters, homeless shelters.
Oh, that's dope. I like that.
To veterans, to anyone who needs scarves or hats or mittens. I think it's a great idea, and you would make me happy. This is beautiful. I love it. Thank you. But don't pile me up in scarves. Send them to people who need them. I just think it'd be a nice thing to do.
That's wonderful. That's awesome, guys. I love it. All right. And once again, 826LA, our fantastic charity we've been supporting since the very beginning of this show, almost 3 years ago now. They do fantastic
Damn.
work. If you have the opportunity to give your time to it, or want to help donate, or at least just look up and see what they do, I recommend you do it. They are fantastic. So thank you guys. And unless anybody else has anything else to interject, I believe it's time for us to.
It is time.
Of Critical Role.
Let's do it. I haven't seen this intro in so long. Let's do it. Even the captions know that it's groovy. Sam. Here we go. It's been too long.
Welcome back. You guys are getting sloppy. Guys are getting sloppy. Welcome back. So,
Yeah, I need this. Let me know where we left off.
our gathering of friends have been traversing northward along the Amber Road with the distant destination of Zadash, one of the larger cities of the Bengali
Zadash.
as a destination. Upon traveling, you passed a caravan, spent an evening amongst trees, where you found a wayward cluster of wandering buffalo. Like creatures. You continued northward for a second day, rushed on past sunset to rest in the city of Allfield, a small farming town that's along the way to Zadash. However, upon noticing that some of the buildings on the eastern side of town began to light up with what appeared to be flame, you began to approach rather rapidly, seeing members of the city, citizens fleeing and screaming, and apparently there seemed to be some sort of attack. Upon going into the town, you realized that a number of these buildings were being set fire by an incursion of gnolls. You were immediately brought in by the Watchmaster Bryce, who offered to pay you for each set of gnoll ears that were brought to them, and you jumped into the fray, managed to kill quite a few. Many of them still left with their quarry, it seems, which happened to be quite a number of bodies and/or citizens still living that were dragged off into the ashen and cloud-covered night. Upon returning, many of you bruised, beaten, and at one point in danger of worse. You were given an evening's rest at the Feed and Mead Tavern, and were told if you were interested in pursuing future coin and helping with the current conflict nearing the city, to go ahead and meet Bryce. Was it out by the Broad Barn?
The broad.
The broad barn. That's why I wrote broad barn down.
That is why. So
I wrote Rod Barn.
it's a different place entirely.
The Rod Barn.
So, you guys all bundled up into a singular room above the floor of the Feed and Mead. Found yourself exhausted, passed out, and got an evening's rest. So, you've all gotten a long rest, you've healed up, you've recovered your abilities, and as the uncomfortable warmth of the morning kicks in, with your small room and a number of warm bodies encompassing a very tight and not very drafty space, the partially humid early hours draw you from consciousness. You all begin to stretch your sore muscles and decide what endeavors await you with the new day. So, what do you guys want to do?
What do you guys want to do today?
I don't know. What do you want to do today?
That was not my favorite.
I liked it.
A little step.
You should try sleeping on the floor. It's actually really good. Just support.
Word.
You use a pillow or you just like on the floor? Pillow. Do you have to
It's like it's like having cereal with no milk. You know what I mean? It's just super hardcore.
do you have to pray over your swords or anything this morning?
No, that's everything's fine. They just sort of they do what they need to do.
Oh.
I just have to keep them clean.
Cool.
Well, we were sharing a room one night, and Molly has a ritual. Or I think it's just part of his, custom.
Oh,
Yeah, he
interesting.
performs over his swords.
I have to take care of them, else they'll stop working. Of course.
Sure.
Do you need to feed?
They do actually. Yeah, I've got to feed them some. Well, it's complicated. I don't like to go too deep into it, but I've got to use my bloodline on occasion. Actually, since we're already on the road, I should be honest. I wasn't entirely telling the truth when I talked to you that night.
No.
Well,
Stop it.
So honest.
What is
oh, you're just a bundle of truth too, aren't you?
what is a bloodline?
Oh, I suppose it's only fair. I did tell you that these swords are special and that they sort of use the blood of my family to activate themselves.
Yeah.
And I know I might have said I was from a long line of priests, and
Oh
that
my god, you killed your whole family.
I didn't kill my whole family.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Keep going. Sorry.
I wouldn't have been
Our family
surprised.
were less the priests and more the sacrifices,
Oh,
and we may have stolen the swords and run. And,
I mean that's fair.
well, I've been trying to keep a bit of a low profile when it comes to some of the authorities.
Keep a low profile, boy. You mad boisterous. You perform, walking around with all these accessories and this kind of showy garb that you wear. I don't know if you can keep too low of a profile. But hey, you made it this far, so I guess it's working.
I mean, for fear of your life, you ran.
It's been a long time, but I'd rather not run into them.
What gods were you being sacrificed to?
Oh, I couldn't tell. It was my parents. I was just a wee by the time that happened.
So is there a roving band of priests that are trying to find you right now?
Oh, I hope not. I mean, it's been a long time.
And where's home? Where's this place that you stole?
My parents never spoke of it.
And you got to
Somewhere out east.
the circus from that how?
Well, it was a bit of a mess, but just sort of ended up there eventually. Just looking for a place where I could rest, I suppose.
It's funny you gave me an answer, but you didn't really give me an answer.
Well, I don't know you that well.
Kind of what's been doing like this whole time.
That requires a drink.
I understand that sentiment. Trying to find a little respite, little peace. Yeah.
It's a good place to be if you want to run but not run.
Are there any others of your family out there on the run?
Not that I've ever met.
Was it just your parents and you that were being sacrificed?
You know, I don't know. I never thought to ask.
Did they want to kill you or just take your blood?
Apparently they needed us alive for it, so there was that.
That
Oh, so
sounds
it wasn't
terrible.
so bad, they just slowly drained you.
Sound that bad,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Just torturous. It's no big deal. You didn't die.
Like kind of what you're doing to yourself on like a daily
It is
basis.
what I do now. It's not that bad though. It's you know. It
Oh
doesn't
yeah,
actually
they got a point.
leave a mark really.
You're in control of it. You're using it for yourself.
Oh yes, of course, and it can be very come in handy.
Does it have to be your blood?
Oh yes. Of our bloodline, apparently.
Have you tried any other bloodlines?
Well, I cut a lot of people with them. Would you like to take a run at it? You could be lucky.
Let's save it for another day.
Yeah, rain check.
I'm tempted.
And what about you, Ford? Are you going to vomit any seawater this morning?
Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it?
Watch out.
Nah.
That could have been worth like 5 copper on the open road at one point.
I seem to have missed my calling.
Always could use a circus geek.
Any more, how would you sleep? I guess aside
Yeah,
from the
no,
crappy bed.
I know what you're asking. I didn't have any other dreams. It was fairly
No
restful.
dreams at all.
Sure.
No.
Laura.
This town.
That is a question.
Anything left?
Yeah, it didn't seem like the whole thing was on fire,
No, we
right?
couldn't quite see it at night. That's true. Maybe we should go down and.
Yeah, I would like to take a walk and see what it is we hope to save.
You can steal some things.
Now.
Well, maybe we do that second, and first we take a walk.
Yeah.
Can we get paid? There was talk of pay.
I thought we already got paid.
Did we get paid?
I think last
We
night.
did, but Molly was drinking, so maybe he does not remember.
He said he was going to bring the rest, I think, later.
I gotta say, there's worse ways to make a living.
I counted 60 gold.
Yeah, Molly, didn't you say Bryce said it would come later?
Bryson said if you wanted to continue to help with this, and there was more money.
There was more money where that came from.
Let's keep helping.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of, it's not a bad gig.
We
Mm-hmm.
could stay here forever and just kill gnolls.
Sure.
Scary. One of them almost killed me.
Yeah, but I like the optimism.
That's true. The 10,000 hour rule.
No, whole killer.
Jester, we kind of agreed not to put anyone in harm's way in an excessive manner, so
When
My eyes twitching.
did we not?
I don't remember that either.
I don't recall making that arrangement.
did we agree to that?
Maybe I thought that was an unspoken thing.
Oh. Usually
Nah,
when
speak for
you
yourself,
do
brother.
something, You have to say it out loud. Most of the time.
I believe you're right.
Unless it's like, we just agreed to it. You said it. You said it.
What did you agree to?
I can't tell. It's a secret. Oh, but she's serious about it. I can tell.
You're so good at this.
Well,
Wow.
my social anxiety is getting the best of me. I'm taking a walk. Goodbye.
I feel you on that, Caleb. I feel you.
As the door slams behind Caleb, briskly making his exit.
Do you want a donut this morning? It's a little more stale in the bag. I have to let you know.
I think I'm fine.
Do you want one?
Oh yeah, more donut for us.
All right.
Well, I guess we should greet the town.
Fair enough.
Wait, when did we say we were going to meet Bryce?
Why are you yelling?
I thought they were leaving.
Oh.
Well, actually, I think they'll find us.
Yeah. Maybe we can just stand in the middle of the town and go, Bryce, until they show up, you know?
Well, in front of Broad Barn.
Okay, I have a question about this Broad Barn
Yeah.
thing. Is Broad Barn like the name of an establishment, or is Broad Barn an actual broad, like a very broad barn?
Very long barn.
It's a very big barn.
What if it's a street?
One direction.
Yeah. What
We
if
didn't clarify, did we?
What if it's like a tavern named the Broad? I don't know. I got kind of confused in
Broad
his
Barn
delivery.
I bet we can ask the guy downstairs.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, he seemed nice last night.
All right, let's give it a shot, I guess.
Okay.
I'll follow for this.
Let's see.
So,
It's a Zork game. We go down.
I know, apparently. All right, so you head downstairs to the only other real location within the Mead and Feed and Mead Tavern. You can go either way. There's Kroot still there off to the side, and what appears to be one very, very dirty and ashy civilian who is currently like slowly scarfing a meal, kind of with a 1,000-yard stare. Looks like they had been probably close to the action and chaos the evening before. As you walk down, Kroot looks across and goes, "Hey, I see you're awake. Would you like breakfast?"
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
All right, it'll be about an hour, because it's just me.
Fire, nice.
Hour?
An hour.
All right.
It's just me.
Do you want some help?
I mean,
I'll come help you.
come on. Come on.
I'll go in for this if it means a faster breakfast.
All right, so the two of you jump in with Kroot.
This should be
What is a
interesting.
Not very well-kept kitchen, but functional. You know, the gristle, who knows how long it's been there, might add the flavor, who knows.
A rating for the city of Los Angeles.
We'll put it at B in Panorama City.
Yeah.
So,
That was an in-joke.
yeah. So, so you guys go ahead and help out. It does manage to cut down the time for breakfast preparation, but eventually food is presented.
I want to, after we've cooked, I'm going to switch out his salt for his sugar.
Make a sleight of hand check.
I want to see if I see this.
Come on, Jester.
I don't, do I?
You two caught up in the meal making. So.
19.
Oh yeah, I definitely don't see this.
Yeah.
Damn.
Neither does Kroot. And
This is gonna
so
be a
Kroot
crazy
is
breakfast.
conscious, like you've done this before in many other establishments in the past. Maybe.
She probably has.
But yes, so with that, you,
After we cooked.
right.
Oh, yeah. Gave us all diabetes. It's great. Yeah.
All right.
For
So,
are going to taste real weird.
Yeah.
so as you guys finish your breakfast, finish your meal, the rest of the day is yours.
What does the town look like when we kind of step out?
I gotta do that.
Front?
All right. So as you
How bad
emerge,
is it?
as you emerge from the tavern, and Caleb, you've already seen this.
Yeah.
You see that the fires have now been reduced to maybe a dozen wide plumes of gray-white smoke on the eastern side of the city. It rises from the ashes and charred wood remains and wood frames where it appears some buildings used to be. It seemed much more dangerous and chaotic last evening, but looking at it now, the day, you can see it's no more than maybe a dozen buildings or so that were affected. They were just more centralized to.
I mean,
cause
that's
more
still a
chaos
decent amount of buildings.
Suddenly at that time of night. But you get the sense as soon as you look around that the folks of the city are on edge, understandably so. You see the people are trying to pick up their lives and move on in the face of what recently occurred. The very air just kind of holds this tension as you kind of look around you. People walk past you with sacks of grain and tools, their eyes wide, darting around for unseen danger and kind of glancing past the two tieflings. Immediately, instinctually, kind of step back a bit and make a wide berth. You watch children run from doorway to doorway, trying to stay out of the street as long as possible. It seems like it's trying to carry on, but it's going to be a process. Some folks are rummaging through the remains of the respective buildings. You glance over near where the central portion of your conflict last night took place, where the Candleglow Tavern is. And there you see, kind of amongst the smoldering rubble of the inn, a single halfling man kind of sifts through the wreckage, a crown's guard helping him lift heavier beams, and you see as he plucks what he can of his former life from the rubble.
Should we go over and talk to him?
Sure.
Do we recognize this person?
You have not met this person, no.
You're a halfling too, so maybe you should talk to him.
Well, I'm not technically.
I'm going to walk over.
Okay. I'll join.
All right.
All right.
You can do it, not. You can do it.
I'm gonna just walk. Need a hand.
You look over there, you can see what I'm halfling man, maybe in his 5th decade or so. His ashy blonde hair, and looks to be a face cracked by smiling, though now too dour and soot covered to see any sort of smile on his face. As he kind of pulls through some of the rubble and he's making a small pile on the side, he looks up and goes, "Oh, right. Can I help you?"
We were part of this commotion last night. We were wondering if you need a hand with anything right now.
Oh, I mean, if you don't, oh,
I'm taking off
you
the
don't
jacket.
have to. Okay. And as you kind of dive in,
Lift.
okay, you go ahead and spend the next
It's a good
10 minutes
guy.
or so kind of helping move through some of the heavier beams that collapse. There is still somewhat of a structure, mainly of the bottom floor, but a lot of the top secondary floor, the one that you were in last night, has fallen in over time, and so it's moving some of the bigger beams out of the way. As you're pulling through and kind of moving some of the larger pieces of the structure, the halfling man goes, I appreciate the help. Name's Thaddeus.
Thaddeus.
Glow.
Oh, this was your place?
Was
Oh, wow.
20 years since I was left this place.
Damn, 20
my
years.
grandpaps read us.
Were you here when the attack happened?
Why they laughing at his accent, bro? He got a little bit of an accent. It's all
They
right.
all came in. I was gone. I wasn't about to stay around, and so big.
Did you happen to see where they came from?
Oh, I did not. I was in the process of cleaning dishes and dealing to a couple of my patrons. One of them, and he points over to the rubble, and you can see what looks to be a skeletal body that's kind of been partially collapsed. I suppose Lehman's probably not going to be a regular anymore.
Damn.
You gotta rebuild, give him a fine plaque.
Rebuilding requires something called money. I think I'm probably going to gather what I can here and shop up north and see what other work I can get myself to.
How much gold do you need?
I don't know, build an establishment like this. I mean, not entirely certain, but I could check in. I assume it's probably a few thousand gold pieces for the structure.
Oh, I just had that too. I'm sorry, I don't
Yeah,
have
uh-huh.
anymore. But I could try writing to my mom.
Oh, $1 billion? Dang, I just spent my last billion. Crazy how that timing works.
Anymore. But I could try writing to my mom and see if she'll help.
That's really sweet.
Or is another thought. I mean, since you were basically robbed. Who were they? What happened? Has this happened before?
Oh, it hasn't happened as long as I've been here, and I've been here most of my life here in Offfield. You hear about these things kind of wandering on the outside, and, Crown's Guard keeps us safe. Anything comes too close, they just shoot them in the face with a bunch of arrows and shit, but...
Hey, man, you can't fix what ain't broken.
They seem to be after anything in particular.
Thaddeus knows that all too well. All you need is a couple of arrows, you're right as rain.
Or gold or food.
They didn't take any of the worthwhile stuff, thankfully. And he points over to a pile, and you can see there's some, looks like brass, almost like an urn or a vase. It's been kind of smashed and kind of dented by the conflict. You can see bits and pieces of a few keepsakes that might be worth a little bit of money that's been brought out of it. He's like, I just mainly took all of our food stores, most of my meats, most of my salted meats, the dried meats, the fresh meats, the butchered meats. I cleared out the butcher down the street.
Shrimp, scampi, butterfly stew,
Coconut shrimp.
fried shrimp.
Don't engage them.
We're all gonna die now.
No flank.
It's real curious looking,
Fates.
you got there.
Excuse me, was there any I saw in the middle of the fray, sir? Excuse me.
In Halfling, I say to him, I've also been a victim of a horrible attack.
Make a persuasion check?
Persuasion check.
Yeah, maybe that'll help with his scrutiny.
Makes you think you have
10.
family numbers.
10? Okay, but in halfling, that helped. Yeah, sorry. What can I
I'm
do?
sorry, I was part of the fray as well. I was right in the thick of it, and I saw a cart piled high with bodies. Are there people missing from town?
Quite a few. You'd have to probably ask around some of the town's guard.
Yes. How is the rest of the village fared? Is everything as poorly off as you are?
I mean, plenty of folks seem to get through this okay. They only took down a few buildings and more worried about the folks that were plucked from their homes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just devastation. Even if it was one building, that's still insane.
Perfectly honest, I've been a little focused on and he kind of gestures out with his hands at the rubble that was once his life.
Yeah, of course.
You had a lot of meat, didn't you?
Well, you have to present meat. A lot of people around here eat meat.
Gotta present meat, huh?
A larger selection of meat than some of the other establishments in town.
I thought I was the only one laughing, but my boy Travis, Liam, Marisha, they're with me on this.
Offer a larger selection of meat than some of the other establishments in town.
Come on.
Oh, well, if you're asking me, the best meat. Don't know about quantity, but quality.
I feel like
shit.
I've been robbed of the experience of your fine meat products, and I, for one, would like you to rebuild so that I might try some of your meats.
Well, if at some point the
Molly needs that high quality schmeat.
well, if at some point the gracious God see fit to bequeath upon me a strike of good luck and I can get the rebuilding in my friend, one day you may be able to try one of my meats.
I'm just take a look. Is the friend who's dead skeletalized?
Oh yeah, well, burnt, charred.
A bird. Okay.
Yeah.
Where's this butcher that you mentioned as well?
Oh, that's he kind of steps out through where the door frame kind of is still standing, the one that you defended yourself through most of that battle. Just kind of like a freestanding frame now.
Yes.
Was I in the butcher?
Nice.
Because that would be some like real horror level.
I think you were in the barbecue shack.
Kind of
I think this
awesome.
was a barbecue shack.
Points over to a building across the way, which is one of the buildings that was nearby. It says, there's the ruddy top butcher. Well, what remains of it, and you can see that building too, is it's still standing, and it's nowhere near as damaged as the candle glow in, but it's sustained quite a bit of damage. It looks like the roof has kind of fallen in.
Also, I'm sorry, Mollymock, another question for you. Is there maybe, I hope it is still standing, but a supply store?
Yeah, if you're looking for the farming supplies, general supplies, there's
I'm sorry, I'm in the need of some incense. Would anyone...
Oh, you could probably find something like that there at the Broad Barn.
What
Oh, it's a store. Question answered. I'm sorry, I'm standing by Ford. Back up. Question answered.
It's really, you're wondering why it's called that at this point.
But it's big.
At least wide.
Yeah.
Well, at one time it was a barn, but when his farm stopped giving up cropping, so they converted the barn itself into what was a general store because they started selling off the tools they didn't need, but that made them more money than the crops did that year, so we just started importing more tools, and for the past 30 years, the Broad Barn's been kind of our common, general supply place there on the western side of the all field. So if you want to...
Wow, this is really good talk that we've had.
Of course, no.
Did you just out-talk Chester?
I think I'm going to go look for the Broad Barn and
That's an idea.
I'd go look for the Broadborn
Don't
too.
pack up shop just yet. Let's see if we can do something about these terrible creatures that have been roaming around.
maybe we'll find all of those thousands of gold for you and you can build your shop back up.
Hey,
Y'all
that
look
would be
like you're,
great, wouldn't it?
Geared up to be making a mess. You're going after these things?
We are perhaps persons of action.
We're really, really, really tough.
Some of
He
us.
leans in.
Have no fear.
Leans in real close to you, kind of getting on his tippy toes to kind of meet your gaze, and he says, well, if you manage to go and kill some of them dog people, you tell them Daddy his candle glow says hi.
She really will.
Good.
Here.
Betty's cannibal hoe.
It's like kind of a moldy donut that Be well, child.
Nice, a moldy one.
Is with you.
Not a child, but I appreciate the gesture.
Oh, please.
You know my name. And I leave.
Gesture. Her
Yeah, her name's Gesture. Uh-huh. Close enough.
Use a gesture like Prince.
The adventurer formerly known as Jester.
Brunts.
Also, I'm sorry, just between you and me, I know the look on your face a little bit. You seem a little manic. So, if you have friends you could stay with right now, you know, you don't have to rebuild it today. I recommend you take it slow.
I don't think I have much of a choice at the moment. Kind of gives a long stare and towards you that kind of just fades past a little bit beyond, and then anyway, I should get back to picking up the pieces. Excuse me, and starts gathering more stuff from the rubble, and the Crown's Guard behind goes over and takes the things he's already kind of gathered and begins putting them into a small crate and doesn't engage.
While they were having that conversation, I'm like hanging back and forward. If you're cool with that.
Yeah.
Question. If you were a crazy, ravenous, dog humanoid person thing,
Yeah.
what would make you really hungry all of a sudden? I didn't phrase that question very well.
No, I knew where you were going with it, though. Like, how do we ring the dinner bells? What you saying? How do we get them to come to us?
Yeah.
Well, it seems they
It seems like they're into kind of
meat.
meat,
Yeah.
anything, kind of anything.
Yeah.
But
well,
like,
they done took it all, I think.
but also like, they're really hungry.
Yep.
More so now.
Why more so now?
I don't know. Why more so now?
Well, they kind of just took all the Luby's cafeteria with them, so, you know, I don't think they're going to be hungry for a bit.
But what if they are still hungry?
Then we would need to roast some meats.
You know who else was really hungry out of fucking nowhere?
Who?
Knowles.
Big angry toad man
That is also true.
guy. I feel like I should get better names for all these things.
Yeah. He was.
I mean, it's not a bad description.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it might be coincidence, but just.
You thinking some of them Knowles had some fiendish qualities, perhaps?
Well, considering some of them weren't dead.
Right.
There was
shit.
that whole like zombie knoll thing.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah. How could you forget that?
I have some weird dreams. What do you have in mind?
What?
Other nights.
What?
What?
Exactly.
I legitimately didn't understand what you said.
Oh, nothing. I got shit in my teeth.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
All
Fine.
What?
Did you want to do something to ring
I
that?
was just kind of striking conversation.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll follow them to the barn broad.
Okay, let's go to the barn broad.
The broad barn. I was fucking with you.
I was going along
Yeah, it's all right.
with you.
When did we hire Tom Stoppard to write this?
Seriously.
Who's that? Who's Tom Stoppard?
So what are you guys off to?
To the Rothbarn, yeah.
Okay.
To the Broad Barn.
It's told it was on the western edge of town, and since most of the city is built on two intersections of main road, you follow the core central kind of east to west path, and on the way out, kind of where you first entered last night, even though you just ran past it, you can see there is indeed right on the edge of town, almost like the town was built to fill the gap in between, a very large barn that looks to have a lot of like coiled rope, like hundreds of feet of coiled rope on the outside. The front doors are wide open, and you can see a number of folks are coming in and out. Many of them with what looks to be cleaning supplies, heavy pieces of cloth, buckets, whatever can be used to start kind of getting rid of the remaining black splash and ashy covering of last night's destruction. You also notice as you approach from the outside, there's a bit of commotion. You see a dozen or so Crown's Guard and a handful of armed volunteers that all appear to be in regular city farmer clothing that are all gathered in a loose huddle, with Bryce among them. You hear a loud, grating voice from within that huddle. As you approach from the outskirts, you see what appears to be a middle-aged male gnome of ruddy complexion and slicked, parted dark hair. He wears very clean maroon and gold robes, and that would lend an air of elegance were he not hopping around and pointing fingers. At which point you see as he starts shouting between the crew, kind of just waving his hand around, "Without any warning, which was your job, Brace. With Reuben Cold dead, that leaves no lawmaster to preside, forcing me to take that position as well. I do not need that added responsibility, but until we get a new lawmaster instated from Rexitrim, I have no choice."
I have no choice. And no capes.
Presence. Starosta, I've sent a request to both Zadash and Blade Garden for a supplementary force, but it may be
Blade
weeks
Garden.
before any would arrive. Can we send trained hands at my approval to retaliate? At which point the Starosta, which has now been notified, says, "We cannot spare any of our forces while the surviving guard are drawn so thin. Out of the question! Maintain a vigilant perimeter and deflect any further incursions."
Well, there's about to be one more incursion by our
Can we
boys
at least have permission
and
to
girls.
hire mercenary strength to retaliate then? I feel not being proactive before the Null Force can fully regroup would put us at a severe disadvantage, at which point it's cut off by the Starosta. "Yes, that's fine. Hire outside. I don't want any more of my citizens' deaths on my record."
Wow, what a coinky dink.
And immediately just kind of pushes through the Crown's Guard and storms off, which is hilarious to watch a gnome storm out of a group of people. And just kind of off of the huff is escorted by 3 Crown's Guard from behind out of that space, at which point the crowd begins to kind of murmur and disperse and go about their business. Bryce turns and smiles at all of you. They've washed up from last night's damage and dirty conflict. So as they approach,
I turn to Chester and I go, look like inviting, look heroic. You know,
Strike a pose.
"Deeply sorry about that. Starosta Kosh is high-strung on a holiday, and tensions have never been this high since he was assigned here 8 years ago. So, please don't take that to heart. He's just a...
Dick.
Your words, not mine."
It seems some people handle pressure better than others. He doesn't seem like the handling type.
No, those in higher political positions rarely do, it seems. Anyway, I want to thank you all again for your aid last night. I can't fathom the further death toll had you not been there and jumped in selflessly as you did. And thank you. Bryce kind of trails off and looks back towards where Starosta Kosh has stormed off and goes, "Fucking Dwendalian political bullshit.
Dwendalian.
Trained guard here for weeks, especially with Zorhas bleeding into the valley, but we're far too south to matter. Every request has been declined due to all necessary forces being needed at the garrisons by Broken Vale. If they were doing their jobs at the Bluffs, we wouldn't have so many reports of violent beasts in the valley in the first place. But here we are. At least I've gotten approval for a bit more cash. And, to that, while I do not know what your business here is in Allfield, if you are still interested, we are in need of some skilled mercenary work."
We're going to kill all of them.
That's right, Jester. We need that energy.
Over here that you were asking for some aid. How long were you thinking you might need these replacements?
Well, I mean, until at least this threat has been dealt with in a satisfactory way. I've unfortunately not had my scouts return after they were sent the night before, which does not bode well. But I suspect we should see some sort of hopeful backup sent by Zadash or Blade Garden within the next week or two. In the meantime, we're a bit of a sitting duck scenario, so I sent a few guards to go to Zadash to see what other mercenaries could be sent forward. We do have some folks traveling on the road, and we'll keep an eye out to see if anybody else is looking for some coin, but for now, you are our first line of defense. Or offense, if you will.
Well, I think I speak for all of us. We're certainly up to the task for a bit. Well,
You're really tough.
maybe for a little less than a bit. Can I ask, are there any other threats to this town besides those gnolls?
Oh, oh, there are plenty of threats. Let's see, famine, syphilis.
Things that come
Politi-
on legs and with weapons, I mean.
Syphilis
Syphilis
can
comes
come
on.
with legs.
Boons. All right. You know what? I think I'm gonna stop this part here. So let's go into my thoughts real quick on this. So yeah, man, this was a great little introduction back. It's great, it's great to see the whole cast and crew again after all these months for me. And yeah, we're about to get some more shmoney. We met a couple of funny characters like like Thaddeus and this individual here. I forget what his name is. But yeah, it looks like we're gonna get some more mercenary quests, get some more dollars, and maybe hunt down some gnolls. So I'm excited to see that. But yeah, great improv here as always with these guys. Great chemistry, great jokes. Um, the Schmeat part was my favorite, and apparently it wasn't just me. They all like that too. But yeah, other than that, man, this was great. Um, for any of you guys that stuck by and watched and made it this far, I appreciate you. And yeah, we out here, man. I'm gonna try to get back to this. Well, I was gonna say I'm gonna try to get back to a schedule, but we'll see how that goes as far as this is concerned. Uh, but hopefully I can try to get at least one of these done a week. Fingers crossed. We'll see. At least one of these. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Have a good morning, afternoon, or night. Stay safe. And I'm gonna see y'all next time when we take on some gnolls. And maybe syphilis.